on, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. A wise man told me that silence never betrayed him. Keep your mouth shut, cause got ultimatums. Stupid situations, the tongue often creates them. The motor mouth is usually causing mayhem.
Lil' tune, flow sinister, I'ma finish him. Many men gon' need ministers, I'm aiming them. Enemies, I'm the enema, I'ma on them. Just like my keys, drop my on the dinner work. My thoughts I keep confidential, it's consequential. Philosophies unidentical, I'm not in the my Siamese brother Benjamin. That's how I stick to him, these diamonds.
Now we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup.
I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. I pull the sword out the border, walk a floor full of cobras. Go to war with you all, we can brawl toe to toe. I can tighten loops in my lace and make lightning lose in a race. I make fire cool and come back from the triangle in Bermuda. I can suit up, live in the moon up, working and outsmarting computers. I can outswim all the tuna, and that's without a scuba. So in the laws of nature, I'm breaking the rules. Only thing I'm bad at is being a loser. I can make time traveling a surprise. Make graveyards feel alive. Break the immortal down to his demise. Look up and beam to the stars so you can turn off the lights. I come alive in the dark, and I keep getting stronger. Tonight I hunt with the pride. You can't take my pride away. I can sing with the birds in the trees in the morning, or roll like the storms way over the ocean. My limit's the sky. I do the impossible, impossible. Shine if I want to. I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as ever, my timing is right. Even in the darkest moments, they close, I'm that shining the light. I can make an earthquake nervous, I can make the sun wear a visor. I can make a wise owl see me as a daily advisor. I'm that cool shade, peaceful night, and still my breath is a storm, I bet. I can make the thunder clap.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Houston Texans and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. First play and a first pass for Murray. That is caught by Josh Oliver, the former San Jose State Spartan. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. Well, this defense for the Buccaneers, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that...
And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And he turns it to the end zone. A fumble recovery touchdown for the Bucs. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
We'll be singing in the shower post-game. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Even though they might not find the #1 seed next to their name come playoff time, there's not going to be very many teams, if any, entering the playoffs on the kind of run they're on. They're hot.
And I love that word, hot, because every team in the league wants to go into the playoffs on that uptick. Because a lot of the time you serve notice to the rest of the league that, hey, we're the team you need to deal with. We're the team that's going to be a real problem for you. And if they can continue this streak, they could very well be that team and gain that confidence that they're seeking as they head to the playoffs.
And confidence, that's the word I would use from our meetings with them. They said we're playing our best football right now. It is showing. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Rolling to his left. Making the catch, this is the tight end, Oliver. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
On play action, it's Murray. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 83 yards on the ground for him so far. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months. Not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. From the gun, Murray. They're trying to find Chark, but it's intercepted. And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a good burst there right from the start as he'll get this one out near the 35. First down, Tampa Bay there, a gain of 13. Keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The Buccaneers have 13-3 now on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On play action, they'll throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Texans are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
After the turnover, here's Murray. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. A give to Elliott running left. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Now Murray, he bootlegs it. Rolling to his right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And some room to maneuver. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Inside give to Elliott. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 112 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. To throw, it's Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And this will be a Texans first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Murray now. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all...
Touchdown, Houston! A great play there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
And still in the first half here, a long way to go. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense, rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 21. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. There for the tackle was Trent McDuffie.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up. Another good carry there for the NFL's 2nd leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's 1st or 2nd or even 3rd in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club. That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Whip. Watch the whip. Mike 35.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
Koo knocks this one through the post. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun now for Murray. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting. And the Bucs are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Back to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football.
So first thing that crosses my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt a kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Murray now on 1st down. Looking for Wright, and he finds him. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Texans get a late score here in the final minute of the 1st half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And not much on this one. Takes it from the 21. And they've got it up past the 35, so pretty good starting field position. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Out to his left. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. And the Texans are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. That is a tough way to start the third quarter. You get the football, hoping to drive it down, put it in the end zone, and take the lead. Instead, they give them the football.
And I think the key here is for them to not get discouraged. That is not how they drew it up, not how they saw it in their minds. But there's a long way to go in this game. You know, they've just got to find a way to come back one play at a time. Yes, it's a cliche, but they can get it done.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 146 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Now Murray off play action. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Murray now to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Partner just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Now Murray. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Here's Murray. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This Tampa Bay defense, they held strong on the first 2 plays. Now 3rd and goal. Elliott. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Now the field goal ties it, but you're down here knocking on the door. What are you doing?
Did you hear the way you just said that?
Kind of.
Yeah.
With hesitance?
Yes, that means you don't want to kick the field goal, and I don't think they do either. They need to go ahead and get these points now and get an advantage and not tie it up. It'll feel like a big disappointment if they just kick the field goal right.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Michael Pittman, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans have taken the lead here in this 3rd quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. This is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got 0 benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. 60 yards rushing for him now to this point. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as he's able to get about 3 that time on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. On the move past the 40. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. 36 yards on the play.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of. And, in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of. Trying to engineer a fourth quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
35's the night.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And in for the Buccaneers touchdown. Drake London, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bucs answered back with a touchdown of their own to take a fourth-quarter lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff, and here we go. It's in the air. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him up.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Sean Murphy-Bunting, and the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open.
Oh, no, he lost the football, and the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. A 23-yard run. And the Buccaneers are able to build on to their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Murray to throw. Flushed out. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Micah Parsons in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. To throw is Murray. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Malik Hooker. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. They'll try to run this one in. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
On 2nd and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football.